how well does the original Xbox run on the AYN Thor Max. Today I'm going to show you guys how you can set this up, as well as some performance from a bunch of different genres and popular games. So first, let's get started with the setup. Now the emulator we're going to be using today is X1 Box. On the Play Store, this is an $8 application. You don't want to use that. You want to go to the GitHub where you can get it for free. You're going to scroll down to the releases on the right hand side, click on the latest release, and when you get to the assets page, you want to download the MCPX zip file as well as the X1 Box APK. Now if you're downloading this straight onto the Thor, you want to make sure that you have a zip extractor app. This is the one that I'm using for that zip file, and you want to extract it using this application. Now when you first start the app, here's what you're going to see. It's going to ask for the MCPX boot ROM. So you want to go to that zip file that you extracted and click on the MCPX folder and choose the file in there. Then we want to click next, and it's going to ask for the flash ROM or BIOS file. You're going to go back to that folder, head to your BIOS folder in there, and you're just going to choose the first file right there, BIOS retail, and then hit next. And then it's going to ask for the hard disk. Same thing, we're going to head back to that folder, go to the HDD folder and click on the file that's in there, hit next. And lastly, it's going to ask for your games folder, so make sure you guys set this up beforehand. You want to have a folder, just call it Xbox, put your Xbox ROMs in there, and you're going to point to that folder, and all the games should pop up here. Now we're going to head to the settings. A couple of things I changed. I changed from Vulkan to OpenGL. OpenGL tends to be a bit more accurate, but Vulkan has some better performance, so switch between them depending on the game that you're playing. I also turned VSync off, and for the aspect ratio, I switched to that 4:3, just so it looks like it did on original hardware, but you can stretch it out or you can force it to be 16:9 as well. And for the custom Vulkan driver, I'm using the latest driver that I actually use for my AYN emulator, and you can just use it right here. So if you already have it downloaded, you want to browse and use that GPU driver. You can also search it on Google and go to the GitHub and get the latest release straight from the Turnip GitHub and download that zip file. But if you want to do it from AYN, you go to GPU driver manager, click on fetch Mr. Purple Turnip, and you're going to show downloads for the latest version. Now heading back to the emulator, everything else I pretty much left default here. You want to click save at the bottom, and then you are good to go. The first game we're going to be checking out is Fable. Fable is an action RPG where every decision you make matters, and you can really decide how your character develops, how the world develops. Super unique, super cool, especially for the time period. Now unfortunately there are some visual glitches, and it runs at a pretty low FPS, so I would probably consider this one not playable. Next we have Call of Duty 3. This is the third installment in the Call of Duty franchise, and this one is set in the 1940s. Now this one, when you first start and you're kind of in the tutorial area, it actually runs really well. I had high hopes, but unfortunately when you get to that first mission, there's a ton of explosions, tons of enemies and allies, and it just does not run well here. So this one is unfortunately unplayable as well. Next we have Forza Motorsport. This is your traditional racing game, and when I first booted up, I noticed that the text was in English, but still kind of like all jumbled up. So as I kind of just clicked through things to get to the first race, I got the game started, but it did not run well. Next we have Halo CE and Halo 2. They both ran about the same. Started off well, and then as you get into more intense areas, the FPS really dropped. I might consider this one somewhat playable though, if you're willing to deal with some of those FPS drops, but either way, the Master Chief Collection is definitely the better way to play these games. Next we have Jet Set Radio Future. This game is exclusive to the Xbox, and at first it was running great, but as soon as you get past that little tutorial area and you get to the main roads where there's cars, there's other skaters with you, it does not run well, and the FPS tanks pretty significantly at that point. So unfortunately there's really no way to emulate this game yet, but hopefully the emulation gets better. Next I decided to throw in a mainline sports title. We have NBA 2K7. This one actually runs pretty decently. As you can see, there are some visual glitches and errors that happen every once in a while, but this one could definitely be playable. Next we have Ninja Gaiden. This one looks pretty good, but it just runs too slow. Even before you get into any combat or anything like that, even the parkour can run slow, so this one is a struggle to run for sure. Next we have Psychonauts. This is an action platforming game. It starts off and it runs pretty good, but once again, as you get to those more dense areas, it does struggle a little bit, but this is another one I might consider playable. If you're okay with a little slowdown here and there, I definitely think you could get through this one on this emulator, and it's a pretty fun and unique one to revisit as well. Next we have Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Double Agent. This is a kind of stealth, action, tactical shooter game, and it runs decently here. Of course, there's going to be some frame drops when you get to areas with more enemies, but it is more of a tactical kind of slower game, so you don't see those frame drops as often, and I think that this one could potentially be playable here with this setup. That's all the games I have for you guys today. If there's any I missed, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to respond and test those games out for you guys. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribe. It's easy, and we'll see you guys next time.